All right, let's get into it. Today, we're breaking down a journey so many people dream about, going from feeling totally stuck in a job to building real, actual wealth.
You know that feeling? You wake up, you go to work, you get your paycheck, you pay your bills, and then it all starts over again. It's like you're on a hamster wheel, right? Running and running, but never really getting ahead. Well, that's what it feels like to be stuck in the financial matrix.
But what if the way out isn't some crazy, complicated secret plan? What if it's just a series of clear, simple steps? The truth is, most successful people didn't have it all figured out from day one. As the quote says, they just started, and they figured it out as they went.
Okay, so let's really dive in, because the very first step is the one that almost everybody gets wrong or just skips entirely. And get this, it has absolutely nothing to do with investing or picking stocks or even starting a business.
So, step one on this whole path, it's not about numbers. Not at all. It's about your vision. Before you even think about asking, how much money do I need, you got to answer a way more powerful question first. One that actually gives your goals some real meaning.
This right here is so important. Just chasing a random number, like, I want $1 million. It's just not motivating. Why? Because it's totally abstract. A number in a spreadsheet is not going to get you out of bed when things get tough. But a crystal clear vision of your rich life, now that's a whole different ballgame.
So here's the big mental shift you have to make. Stop chasing some empty number that society told you to want. Instead, start designing a super vivid, detailed picture of what your ideal life actually looks like. What does freedom feel like for you? That becomes the target that pulls you forward. And these aren't just, fluffy, feel-good questions. Answering them gives you a real, tangible target. Maybe your rich life is working just 20 hours a week. Or maybe it's being able to take your parents on a surprise vacation, or never feeling that pang of guilt when you order takeout on a Tuesday. This is what makes the journey personal and, honestly, incredibly powerful.
All right, so once you have that vision locked in, the thing that's going to motivate you, now we can get practical. And the very first practical step is all about building a solid foundation. You just can't build a skyscraper on shaky ground. Ramit Sethi uses this analogy, and man, it is so brilliant and so true. Talking about generational wealth or complex investments when you're drowning in high-interest debt, that's like planning a fancy kitchen renovation while your house is literally burning down around you. You've got to put out the fire first. I mean, just look at that number. Think about it. A great year in the stock market might get you, a 10% return? This debt is costing you almost 27%. It's a mathematical certainty that you cannot out-invest a hole that deep. It is a guaranteed loss that will erase any progress you're trying to make. So here's the game plan, and these two steps are completely non-negotiable. First, you attack that high-interest debt like it's a 5-alarm fire. You have to stop the bleeding. Second, you build up an emergency fund. This is your safety net, so that one flat tire or unexpected bill doesn't send you right back into debt. This foundation, this is what gives you the freedom to take smart risks later on.
Okay, so your foundation is stable, the fire is out, now it's time to learn the basic language of money. And listen, this isn't about becoming a Wall Street genius. It's just about understanding the core rules of the game so you can make smart moves. This concept right here is where the magic really starts to happen. Put simply, $1 you have today is like a little seed. You can plant it, and thanks to the power of compounding, it can grow into a giant tree. But $1 you get 5 years from now, well, it's just $1. Next up is ROI, or return on investment. Think of this like a universal translator for your money. It's a simple formula that lets you compare totally different things, like buying a rental property versus investing in a tech stock, and see which one is actually working harder for you. It's how you keep score. And finally, the big one, stocks versus bonds. The easiest way to think about it is this. When you buy a stock, you become an owner. You get a tiny piece of the company and its potential growth, which means higher risk, but also higher potential reward. When you buy a bond, you're a lender. You're loaning money for a predictable fixed payment. It's safer. A smart plan usually involves a mix of both.
Okay, so theory is great. We've got the vision, a stable foundation, and we speak the basic language of money. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's check out an incredible case study. Sharon Hegday's journey from a regular salaried employee to a millionaire.
This just shows you how a side hustle, something he started out of frustration during lockdown with just his phone, can turn into an absolute engine for growth. I mean, look how fast this happened. It's incredible. This is where it all started. A very normal starting salary, just over 27,000 rupees a month. He was budgeting every single rupee, which is a reality for so many of us when we're just starting our careers. And then, this. By mastering a skill, in his case, making finance easy to understand, and building an audience that trusted him, he completely flipped his own financial script. This is the staggering, mind-blowing power of the creator economy today. Okay, so earning a high income is awesome, but it's not the final step. To build real, lasting wealth, you have to take that attention, that audience, and turn it into an actual business that solves a real problem for people. This is the simple, powerful question Sharon asked himself. He realized that, yeah, his short videos were super popular, but there was a huge gap between people watching a 1-minute clip and actually knowing how to apply that knowledge to their own lives. And when he looked closer, the problem he found was just massive. In a country of over 1 billion people, there were only about 600 active financial planners. That meant getting real financial advice was a luxury that almost no one could afford. He saw this giant, painful problem and built a solution to fix it, the 1% Club. And this right here, this is the blueprint. This is the key takeaway for all of us. It's a framework anyone can follow. First, you master one valuable skill. It doesn't have to be finance. It could be coding, marketing, writing, anything. Second, you build an audience by sharing what you know and building trust. And third, you create a product or service that solves that audience's biggest problem at scale. So look, you don't need some perfect 10-year plan to escape the financial matrix. You just need to take the first step. Just like Sharon's journey shows, you figure it out along the way. So the real question to leave you with is, what's your first step going to be? What's the one skill you can start mastering today?